Beta Israel culture, religious conditions. The holiest work is the Torah, Orit, O-R-I-T. All the holy writings, including the Torah, are handwritten on parchment pages that are assembled into a codex. The rest of the prophets and the hagiographa are of secondary importance. The language of their holy writings is Ge'ez, G-E-E-Z. In addition to the rabbinical biblical canon, the Beta Israel holds sacred the books of Enoch, Jubilees, Baruch, and the books of Ezra as well. The basic wording of Beta Israel biblical writings was passed down through ancient translations like the Septuagint, which incorporates the Apocrypha as called by Protestant Christians, including all the books noted by Catholics as Deuterocanon, as well as other rabbinical Jewish Apocrypha. The Beta Israel possess, but do not consider canonical, several other books, including the Ardet, Acts of Moses, Apocalypse of Gregorians, Midrash, Alba Elijah, and biographies of the nation's forebears, Gatla Adam, Gatla Abraham, Gatla Ishak, Gatla Yaakov, Gatla Moshe, Gatla Aaron, Nagara, Musa, Mota, Mose. Leaders of the community consider especially important a book about the Shabbat and its precepts, Te'ezaza Sanbat, precepts of the Sabbath. The leaders of the Beta Israel also read liturgical works including weekday services, Shabbat and festival prayers, and various blessings. Sefer Kohen deals with priestly functions, with Sefer Shabbat, Book of the Hours, applies to weekdays and Shabbat. The Beta Israel religious calendar is set according to a treatise known as the Abu Shaka, which was written around 1257 CE. It covered the computation of Jewish holidays and chronological matters. The Abu Shaka lists civil and lunar dates for Jewish feasts, including Macht, New Year, Soma, Eyub, Abba, which is Yom Kippur, Masalat, Sukkot, Fest, Passover, and Soma Denet, Fast of Salvation, or Soma Esther, Fast of Esther. The Beta Israel have a unique holiday known as Sig. On the 29th of Sheshvan, Sig or Siged is derived from the Semitic root meaning to bow or prostrate oneself. In the past, the day was called Mahedla. The acts of bowing and supplication are still known as Mahedla. Sig celebrates the giving of the Torah and the return from exile in Babylonia to Jerusalem under Ezra and Nehemiah. Beta Israel tradition holds that Sig commemorates Ezra's proclamation against the Babylonian wives, Ezra 10 verses 10 through 12. In Ethiopia, the Sig was celebrated on hilltops outside villages. The location was called by several names, including Yarago Dabra, mountain for making prayers, and in Amharic, Yolamana Tarara, mountain of supplication. The Kesem, or elders of the community, drew a parallel between the ritual mountain and Mount Sinai. Another source inscribes Sig, calling it Amada Sa, as a new moon holiday, after which the Kesem withdrew for a period of isolation. Sig was declared a national holiday in Israel in 2008 after lobbying by Israel Association for Ethiopian Jewry. Social contact between the Beta Israel and other Ethiopians was limited. It was not because of the laws of Kesra, since all Ethiopians share the same food taboos. Ethiopian Jews were forbidden to eat the food of non-Jews. The Kesem were more strict about the prohibition against eating food prepared by non-Kesem. Beta Israel who broke these taboos were ostracized and had to undergo a purification process. Purification included fasting for 1 or more days and ritual purification before entering the village. Unlike other Ethiopians, the Beta Israel do not eat raw meat dishes like kitfo or gourd.